go ahead. We are open for questions.
Yes, this is Gene Perry. I was just wondering, and by the way, the presentation was really awesome. I'd just like to know the commercial or economic impact of sister cities. How would you describe it currently?
Somebody must have put you up to ask that question. Needless to say, one of the things that we have begun to do is to really quantify what economically does this relationship bring to the city of Durham. And I will not be able to give you exact figures. I can certainly make that available to you and would be more than happy to get that for you. But when we really start looking at what the money is that flows into the city of Durham as a result of these partnerships that we have established, I think we all pretty much surprised ourselves at the amount of money that these relationships can generate. And they generate finances for the city and the region in a number of different ways. Some of it is strictly shopping. They come into the city, they spend money buying things, they spend money when they stay in our hotels, they spend money when they go to their restaurants, the restaurants. Each of these relationships usually has some financial underpinnings. Many of them come with support of the municipal governments from their countries. I can tell you, for example, that when Chinese delegations come to Durham, oftentimes the full support for what they are doing is underwritten by the government. When the students come to DTCC to have their engagements with the foreign language institutes there, that brings tuition and money into the coffers for DTCC. I will make sure that I work with Eve and I get you the last figures that we have done. It is a new engagement for us because I'm not sure it was a natural thought to raise that question, but it definitely has become one over the last year or so that is part of what we are actually quantifying in terms of not only the cultural benefit of what we do, but the economic benefit as well. And again, I can tell you it is quite substantial. I think you'll be pleased when we get the figures to you, and I will work with Eve to make sure we get that for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that.
Hi, Gwen, this is Rich Jaworski. Can you hear me?
I definitely can, Rich. How are you?
Not bad yourself. Great to hear you. Thank you very much for this presentation. There's still, I mean, you said it in such a great, succinct way. I know that there's an awful lot of effort that goes in behind everything that you just said, and I can't even imagine how this stuff gets done. But I just have two really quick questions. One is, what is the relationship between sister cities and the Durham city government? Is there much control of sister cities by the government? And the second one quickly is the membership, because I know I'm familiar with the board and the approximate size, but I have no idea about how many people are out there in the city in general who are part of this effort.
Yeah, thank you, Rich. That's also a wonderful question to ask, and I'm really glad that you did. The one thing I would like to say to you is the way the sister cities municipal process is handled is strictly up to how the city itself chooses to be in relationship. For example, some of the cities actually have an employee paid by the city who has the role to coordinate all of the activities that go on in the sister cities. Durham does not have such a paid position, but we are offered an office in City Hall that is underwritten by the municipal government. We don't pay them rent to have that office. We frequently have our board meetings in City Hall in one of the conference rooms, and we routinely submit a budget to the municipal government, and that budget is reviewed as part of the ongoing budgetary process for the city of Durham. And I'm very proud to tell you that over the last few years, the financial support to the Sister Cities operation by the city of Durham is steadily increasing. So it goes to speak to the value that the municipal government has for the work that we do. Now, Rich, I must tell you, I've stopped using the word old. I am getting so seasoned. My brain does not hold anything from 1 minute to the next. What was your second question?
Oh, it's just strictly about the numbers of people.
Okay, I got you. Thank you. We are a membership organization, and we have several categories of membership. We have a family membership that is quite reasonable. It's $35 a year. We have an individual membership that's $20 a year. And then we have a corporate membership, which is about $100 a year. We regularly send out solicitations, not as actively as we ought to, because one of the things that we're realizing, we are getting bigger and better. And in order to really have the funding to underwrite the wide range of things that we really are beginning to do, we're going to have to be more aggressive and more directed at how we do our fundraising. We are currently looking at an annual fund. I believe last year we did do a bit of solicitation by sending to our mailing list a request for funding, as many organizations do toward the end of the year. We are a 501c3, so the donations made to Sister Cities are tax deductible. But I should say to you that that is an area that we are moving forward a little bit more aggressively with. I think it's also becoming more clear that if the individual city committees are going to do the work that they need to do, our individual city committees are going to need to be more aggressive in their own fundraising. That's a different issue than the one you raised about membership. The membership is pretty much coordinated by the Sister Cities of Durham board. But that is, as I just said, a very small amount of money. I'm almost surprised to some extent that we don't have a larger, quote, membership base than we do. When you talk about the fact that you can get membership in Sister Cities for just $20 a year. I think what we're going to need to do is to think more creatively about, first of all, how we can market it, but also how we can give people a return for what that $20 or $35 will generate. So I think those are basically works in progress. We do get support from the city, but we need to be more out there and more soliciting of citizens of Durham in general. And I think we can only do that by making our public relations more aggressive so that more people know who we are, know what we do, and hopefully want to be a part of helping us be successful.
I agree. And by the way, that's an awesome mural. I've never seen it, and I want to get out to the airport tomorrow to look at it.
That's great. That's absolutely great.
Well, thank you, Rich, for that question, and thank you, Gwen, for being here tonight. We thoroughly enjoyed your presentation, and on behalf of the Rotary E-Club, we'd like to present you this certificate of appreciation for being our speaker this evening. And again, thank you very much. And before I close out the